Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 93 of Two Left Thumbs, your source of weekly gaming news and updates. In this week's episode, we are going to be covering only one topic, and it is all about the Xbox Showcase. But stay with us as we also have the best weekly deals from a range of publishers across all gaming platforms. Remember, if you are listening now, do not forget to rate and share the podcast around. Tell a friend about it. Leave us a rating as it does help us grow. You can sub to our YouTube channel, rate and review over there on your podcasting platform of choice. My name is Grey Aussie Gamer. Joining with me is the Xbox man himself, Deaf Puppies.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are we?
Seductive hellos.
Seductive hellos today. I hear you're a little fueled by hate this week, Grey.
Fucking fueled by hate. I'm not going to go that far, but no, I did not enjoy that show. I didn't. There's a lot of disappointment in that fucking show. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. There is. Before we go diving off the end of that, let's talk about what did you get up to in the week that was this past week gone.
Gaming wise, I mean, I don't know if it's counted as gaming, but essentially all I did was take photos and go to Tsushima. That was me. I was done. I think I have amassed 2.3 gig worth of
holy shit
worth of images and videos that I'm using for I'm working into GIFs and stuff. And half of it I'll throw out, but I just looked at my PlayStation and I'm like, oh my god, that's a lot of photos.
It would have to be the best photo mode ever created.
So I've heard that Horizon Zero Dawn's is better. Maybe mostly because it has to do with the subject, but like the subject matter, it's a little more interesting. But I think the thing with this one is because that the samurai is like that imagery is so iconic. It's so easy. It's so stylized and so easy to take really, really nice shots of. You know,
and it helps that the game looks fucking amazing.
Yes, it does. It looks amazing, and all the versatility that you get with everything as well is really, really good. Yeah, so I've been doing that. I'm almost finished Act 2 now, as far as gameplay is concerned. I'm starting to work my way through that second island now, getting some of the side quests done, which are really cool. I like the little like individual stories you're getting with each character. It's been really, really nice. They're quite good.
They're really cool. And do you know, I'm sure that the side quests you can kind of do in any order, but not just in any order, because you know how the side quests have, there's parts to, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Yeah. You can do those out of sync.
Yeah, you can. I found that out today. I thought that was really
cool. So you can, I think that is awesome because that keeps the whole open world. It still keeps it full. There's stuff everywhere to do and you're never kind of running out.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you've obviously completed it all. But yeah, I thought because any other game you would get, if there was a multi-stage side quest like that, you would have to go back and do, step 2, which maybe you skipped it. It was on the first part of the map, and in Tsushima, for example. And this one gets rid of that issue. I reckon it's a really cool idea.
Yeah, and the story still seems to make sense too. Like you can still follow along. It's like, okay, we've done this, now we go do this. It's kind of little chunks. It's really, really cool. A cool feature I did notice with this game, I don't know if you noticed it, but you know when you first open the game and there's that opening, like the opening menu with the sword in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got your samurai armor, your father's samurai armor yet? Are you up to that? Yes?
Yeah.
Have you looked at the menu screen since?
No.
So, after you get that armor, the mask is hanging off the sword.
Oh, sweet.
I saw that, so I'm like, that is fucking... It's just like this neat little detail. I was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. So, it'll be interesting to see if anything happens with Act 3, if like anything else that gets added to that kind of image.
So, yeah, you and I are up to about the same point, and I've heard that Act 2, the end of Act 2 is supposed to be incredible. So
yeah, I'm on that last mission where you're prepping for the big battle. I was like, I'll hold off and I'll go to some side quest stuff before I kind of jump forward.
Yeah, I'm just before that, so I'm still doing the side quest stuff as well.
Yeah. So aside from that, I also managed to play some Carrion, which is a really cool game. Basically, the premise is you're a monster, and it's like a platformer kind of
It's super Meat Boy-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But you're like this carnage symbiote kind of monster, and you just go around eating people. And that's it. That's you're just like making your way around the map, just nomming on people. And there's like, if you electrocute, you can shrink yourself because the more people you eat, the larger you get. So I think if you soak yourself in water or damage yourself, you get smaller, and the more people you eat, you get bigger. So you've got to balance that to get through different spots. So you get this little bit of like almost Metroidvania-esque kind of thing going on, where you have to be certain sizes or open certain gates to get other places, which is really, really cool. Really enjoying that. It's a lot of fun. I also managed to get myself into the Fall Guys beta for the last 2 hours.
I am very interested in this game because, like we were speaking about earlier, I have seen it plastered all over my social media. Everyone is talking about this. Is it good?
It is hilariously fun. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
So basically, the premise is you start with 64 players, right? So it's a battle royale kind of mixed with a party game. And you have
watch Next Gen go running to it.
And then you have there's different maps, and they're all obstacle courses. And I think the first stage is the first 43 to get over the finishing line, go through to the next round. And then there's a different obstacle course where it might be like, so there might be one that's just kind of get through this maze. Another one might be a spinning barrel with different panels and holes on it. You've got to try and stay on. I think there's one you have to keep a tail on you, so you've got to chase each other around, like, grabbing tails of other teams, so it kind of splits you into teams as well. So it's totally random, and unless you're like partied up with someone, which I hadn't done, there's no real way of communicating with anyone either. So it's just absolute chaos, and it's amazing.
I've seen fun. It does look like it. It looks like Takeshi's Castle. Like, do you remember Takeshi's Castle, the TV show?
No.
That was like, it was a Japanese TV show from back in the day, and they would have contestants on that used to just run through these obstacle courses, and they were absolutely ridiculous, the shit they had to do. And that was the whole idea, is the contestants had to get through to the end. So it seems like it's kind of based off that, which is cool. I like that. That is an interesting way to do a quote battle royale, because
exactly. And the cool thing is you can sit there, like, if you get knocked out early rounds, you can sit there and watch the whole thing if you want. Like, you can jump between everyone's perspective.
Okay.
And you can watch the whole thing. Like, the whole set of rounds is called a show. So it's definitely going for that kind of game show feel. But it's really fun, man. I mean, you get a few mates together. I've watched a few people play it together and stuff. You get a few mates together, you can have quite a few laughs with it.
So what you're saying is, when this releases, because it's free on PlayStation Plus next month.
It's releasing free on PlayStation Plus. Yeah, next week.
It's going to be gigantic. It's going to be
huge. I'll definitely be on that.
And it's on all platforms? It is. It's on PC, Xbox,
Xbox, and PlayStation. It's only coming to PlayStation. Switch, I don't know. I don't remember seeing anything about the Switch, but it would be perfect. The perfect game for Switch. Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah. So it's going free to play on PlayStation if you got PlayStation Plus. And do you know the price of it?
I think it's about $40.
Okay, so it's not a full crazy retail.
Not a full crazy. I think there's like $6 or $7.
$40 is still $40 is still a significant investment for a game like that. So hopefully they must be pretty confident in what they're doing.
They're planning from the beta, on adding more post launch as well. It's going to be kind of a add more as they go kind of deal. But I mean, they seem pretty confident in it, which is fantastic. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I mean, it being on PlayStation Plus on its release is going to be huge for it. Like, it's going to get so many downloads, especially the amount of fun people are having with the beta.
Yeah,
there were thousands of people like begging for codes on Twitter. It was insane. Yeah,
sweet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I want to get a thumbs cast in there, and
well, yeah, we'll have to get some time on there. It'd be good. You still got a station, don't you?
A what?
You still got a PlayStation, don't you?
Yeah, we've just been talking about Ghost of Tsushima. What do you think? I've been watching bloody streams of it.
Yeah, exactly. You've just been playing it on your Xbox, xCloud. It's got Ghost of Tsushima
exactly
on it.
Yeah.
Speaking of
what I don't have though is PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I have been up to the same as you with some Escape from Tarkov. So more of Ghost of Tsushima. In roughly, like I said, about the same spot as you, a bit behind. I'm just really enjoying that game because I'm not reviewing it. I'm not doing it. I've done one video on it, but it's just like it's a funny piss take one.
Yeah.
So I'm just chilling with it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not like trying to rush through it. I'm not trying to grind every mission. Like I'm just cruising.
Yeah, I
Taking
found that
a
as well,
shit ton
man.
of photos. It's just it's oddly relaxing.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's very scenic, and you just kind of stroll through. And like I
Yeah.
I've been much the same as you. I've been taking my time with it. I've only been streaming like the main stories, the little side quests. I'm just like chilling on the couch, doing it at home. It's been great. Just
Yeah.
like doing
Yeah,
all
no.
the side bits. It's been fantastic.
It is a if it wasn't for The Witcher, like The Witcher 3 to me is still the best open world game ever done. This is second. This is just behind it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely one of the best of the last few years. Easy. I've enjoyed the combat. I'm even going to enjoy it even more because they've just released a patch adding a new difficulty, lethal mode.
That. Yeah.
That's sign me up, Sally, because I'm at the point now. When it first started, I was like, yeah, this combat is really, really cool. There's some crazy difficulty on hard. You have it on hard.
Yeah.
Once it's not even once you get better at it. It's once you start to unlock some of the abilities. Yeah, like the blocking and everything that you can do, and it makes the game very easy.
It makes it a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even bother stealthing anymore.
Have you unlocked the final like ability set yet?
The moon.
It's no. It's called I won't spoil too much. It's called slaughter mode.
No, I have not.
Okay, you are you unlock it through the story. Oh my fucking god, dude!
Make it even easier, or
oh, it's so much easier. Like it takes a bit to get, but given how easy the combat gets after a while, it is really easy to unlock. You've got to do some stuff to unlock it, but once you have it, just
wreck people. I've already given up on stealth. I was enjoying the stealth aspects to it, and on the hard difficulty at the start, you really had to go in and take at least a couple of people out, even if it's just the bigger guys, the brutes.
Yeah.
Now I just walk in there. It's at the start of Act 2, I think. But there's a big army encampment where you get a fucking warning for going in there. Man, I tried my hardest to take them all down. I was in there for a while. I got pretty far, but it's the arrow men that just fucking nail you from everywhere.
They do. It's insane.
It's like blocks out the sun. How many arrows come flying at you? So I gave up on that. But
yeah, I found that same area and I like dipped in and had to go. I'm like, no, maybe not just yet. We'll come back.
Yeah, it would have been. It'd be interesting if you could put it on like easy and see if you actually could do it.
I mean, I reckon it'd be doable and normal. I just didn't have the patience for it at the time.
Might be something to see if someone's done before. Be interesting to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Escape from Tarkov, back into that. Continuing on with my quests in there, leveling up traders, getting better at the game. They've just released a new patch as of today, I think. Today or last night, which is 12.7.
Updates, wasn't it?
A huge map update. Yeah. It's they added like a grenade launcher to the game, which is
Jesus.
I haven't dealt with it yet, but I've seen really good players use it, clips of it, and it just fucking drops people. It's pretty crazy, but it's super expensive and really hard to use. So
yeah,
I don't think it'll be too bad. But yeah, huge update to customs, which is pretty much it was their first map that they did. And yeah, it is. They probably added an extra 40-50% to the map, which is already pretty big massive to do. Yeah, and it just kind of I really enjoyed that map because of the PvP that it added, and now it kind of takes the PvP away just because of the choke points they had. They've spread them right out now. Yeah. And they've added a new raid boss.
Oh, nice.
Who is
lots of improvements there.
Yeah, no, heaps of quality of life stuff, new bug reporting things. I mean, yeah, they're kicking goals with it. The game, I think, is doing exceptionally well. I think it's still up there on some of the top Twitch channels. So good luck to them. I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I'm just going to play the shit out of it until I just can't do it anymore. might be a while.
Might be a
Loving
while.
it.
Could be here.
Yeah, might be a while. I am getting other games there.
I'll live through Vicarious. Man, I have it. I haven't had the time to invest into it.
Yeah, I know. So you gotta. It does take that investment, and then there's that big hurdle of getting over that crunch period at the start, where you're just getting absolutely stomped on.
Yeah,
and just squished, and you're just like spawn in and die. It's like, why the fuck would I play this for? This game sucks. And then chuck it and don't even bother using it. If you can get through that period, man, yeah, it's a very, very addictive game. Incredibly addictive. Probably one of the most addictive games I've ever played.
I can tell, given this last few months.
Yeah, exactly. And that's because of the white. So because they reset it all, which is a fucking awesome mechanic. I'd love to see other games I'd love to see other games bake that into their gameplay somehow. Like there's so many cool things you could do with that. I think just giving everyone a fresh wipe. So yeah, that's about it, mate. Shall we get into some deals of this week? Because we've got quite
discussions to have.
Yeah, just a few. So we're going to start off on PlayStation Network, and it is the last week for Erica, NBA 2K20, and the Rise of the Tomb Raider. As we said, next week is the new PlayStation Plus ones, and we've got what's that game called? Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Fall Guys.
Yeah,
well, am I thinking is there a game called Human Fall Flat or some shit?
There is, and the characters are kind of like has some of the similar physics. Like you would not be mistaken for thinking it was like the same group going on there, but it's not.
It's been doing my fucking head in. That's anyway. That's okay. That and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered Edition is also the other free-to-play game. Our deals for this week on the PlayStation Network is the Marvel Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition for $35. The highest selling PlayStation game of all time, I think. If you haven't got it, go play it for $35.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Game Pass pick of the week is Carrion. Just what we spoke about before. If you're into your Super Meat Boy-esque style games, it's free to play. It's free with it's not free. I got to stop saying that because you got to
Game Pass. Available on Game Pass.
That's it. Yeah, you pay for Game Pass. Damn it. Right. Games with gold. We've got WRC World Rally Championship 8 Dunk Lords, which is a 2v2 basketball beat 'em up. Is that right?
That is right. That is correct. I still need to download this. I'll check it out for next week. I'll try to anyway.
Dunk Lords. I like it. Fair enough. Deals with gold. Difference with games with gold. Deals with gold is the Yakuza Kiwami, $18.71, and Disintegration for $47.97. What is that? Do you know? I've seen that around.
It's a mix between a first-person shooter and a strategy game.
Are you on mechs or something?
Yeah, so basically you're a robot and you have to. I haven't played it. I've seen a little bit of gameplay. So I don't know the finer details of the mechanic, but you have like this hover bike and you ride behind your team and you kind of command them and heal them and shoot yourself. So it mixes that kind of the strategy, like moving your players and giving them commands, because they'll essentially only do what you're commanding them, but as well as doing some of the shooting and healing and stuff yourself as you're going.
Right. Okay.
It's an interesting mix. It hasn't reviewed terribly well.
No, that's where I thought
it's been very middle of the line. And I'm kind of surprised to see it with a price drop this early, because it only came out like last month.
Generally not a good sign.
But yeah, might be worth checking
out. There, if you want to look at it. Over on the Switch, we have Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered for $25.88. Usually $70. That's a pretty good drop, and a very good Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Very good. Puppies and I both agree that it has the best parkour system out of all of the games.
I'd agree on that one, definitely.
There we go. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered is the other game over on the Switch for $14.97. Can't go wrong. Final Fantasy VIII, cracking good game. Even better on the Switch. I've got it. Go get it. Awesome. Epic Store, we got Torchlight 2, an action role-playing dungeon crawler video game developed by Runic Games, still on there. I imagine they're going to be updating again next week. So, you ready?
Never. That's kind
of never. Okay. Fair enough. Right. So the format for this is going to be pretty much the same as how we did the Ubisoft presser. Okay, the Ubisoft thing, Ubi Forward last week, week before. I've got it all here, blow for blow. What happened? How it came through? What it was? The games we saw. We'll stop in between decent chunks of it, and we'll go into it. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
You have your drink of water. You're ready. Your lips
I'm
not
good.
chapped up.
I'm moist and ready to go.
You're moisted up and ready to roll. I should be. There's a fucking shitload of reading to do here. Right. Let's get into it. So, the Xbox Showcase. The Xbox Game Showcase proper began with a shot of a manufacturing facility in outer space. It showed the manufacture of a series of armor suits, revealing the next suit for Master Chief. The footage then showcased a menu of the Halo Infinite screen, revealing the footage was coming from a demo. Chief holds an argument with an angry pilot who mentions he's found Master Chief somewhere. The demo then showed a bit of a warthog action before revealing a large open world map with various objectives and locations to run past. The usual Halo abilities and guns were shown initially, but over time, different tricks like a drop wall, a wall that you can shoot through, and new guns to the Halo universe appeared. The main objective in the footage was to destroy 4 anti-air gun batteries around the area. The gunplay and battles were relatively smooth, save for a moment where the stream was a bit laggy, which was definitely a bit of an issue.
Oh, the stream. Oh man. So I was watching this live. I did like a live reaction on stream, and the main Xbox channel was like in French or something, or Spanish. Mm-hmm. And like this is like the main US Xbox. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is this me? Is this something on my end that I've got something in the menus? And it wasn't, so I ended up having to go watch GameSpot's one because the only one I could find that was actually in English and I could understand.
It was hello.
What the fuck is this? And then like the main one as well was really like they were really struggling. Like it was dropping. It was very blurry for the most of it too, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Like I had to go rewatch it because they released like 4K 60 FPS videos later on, so I had to go rewatch most of it.
So I watched it all the next morning, straight from YouTube, the 4K 60 version. We got a little bit more on Halo, and then we're going to dive in. What else was there? The new ability from Master Chief was a grappling hook, allowing him to pull enemies in or launch themselves towards an enemy. A short cut scene played with the antagonist at the end before launching into a developer interview with 343 Industry Studio Head. It was explained that Halo Infinite will be several times larger than our last 2 Halo games combined. It will be running at 60 frames a second, although the resolution was not specified. Okay. Talk to me. Give me your... All right, so if you didn't catch last week's episode, go listen to that. Last week's the one before, where we went through our predictions for the show, our hopes and dreams. I remember yours, puppies.
You remember mine?
I do. Tell me, did Halo live up to your hype levels? Were you excited to see it?
I was. I wasn't. It wasn't like quite there. It was still a really good showing. I enjoyed it. It looks fun. I mean the new abilities. I like that. I mean I know Halo's always been like a linear style of game, and doing the whole open world thing is a bit. Will it work? Will it work? Will it not? But as long as the gameplay loop's fun, I'm cool with it, right? I mean, it looked fine. I didn't have the art direction is a little weird. It looked semi-cartoony, if that makes sense. The art direction on it looked a little off, but I'm fine with it. It's cool. I just want to throw things at grunts. That's all I want to do. Like, that was the best part of it. I know as well that brutes can throw grunts at you. I think there's a part where you see a grenade grunt come flying over. That's been thrown by a brute.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of cool shit going on there. I'm really excited for that. The grappling looks cool. It'll bring some interesting traversal into the campaign. I know it's only an ability on a cool, like an optional ability in the multiplayer. Because I looked that up because I was wondering if that was a permanent thing in multiplayer. That could be a bit fucking wild for Halo multiplayer.
Yeah, just a little.
Everyone's just grappling hook around. It's fucking Titanfall 2 again.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, some interesting weapons there. Like, I wasn't like super hyped for it, but it looked good, and I'm happy to see more. I want to see how this open world plan works out, because from what I can surmise from all the information that's going around, it's going to kind of work similar to the way that Ghost of Tsushima works, where you'll have different story points you can just go to whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can attack things in it may not be as detailed as that, but you'll be able to, like, here's your objectives to get to a main mission. You can do them in any order you want. So that'll be an interesting take for the series. Whether it works or not, it's another story. But I'm interested to see how it plays out.
It's
Gray?
It's
talk to me.
I was severely disappointed with it. I was. I mean. There's two sides to it. So there's the gamer side who's played, all the Halos, and I've lost so many countless ridiculous hours playing LAN Party Halo back in the day. It's disgusting. So I'm excited for Halo, like just to get another one and play it again. And it's this whole nostalgia thing. But the critical side of me, the one that takes the goggles off and actually looks at it for what it is. This is a game we haven't. This is a series we haven't had. What, 5 years?
Yeah.
5 years. It's coming out on the world's most powerful fucking console. I was just not impressed, man. This is the flagship. This sails the Xbox.
So you don't think they showed enough to really kind of impress you?
No, I think they showed it wrong.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think they should not have shown, like, 343 are finally, and props to them, they're finally stepping away from Bungie. They're leaving Bungie's Halo behind. That structured story that, as it is. They're going their open world-esque this time. Similar to Destiny, Bungie, but which is a good move. But when you got to do that, when you showcase that, don't, you can show that off, but get real nitty gritty with it. Show us some cinematics. Show me something really cool. They did not show a damn thing in that, really, in all honesty, that was blow you away. Like, wow, I need that.
Yeah,
I want
get that. And like, I wasn't like, that's what I'm saying as well. Like, it wasn't hitting the expectation that I was seeing for it, but it was still okay. Like, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like, it didn't blow my mind, but I was like, this is cool. I can get into this. This will be fun.
And the fact it was running on a fucking PC.
Yeah, that was.
Come on, like, how? This is your Xbox Series X showcase. This is where they are supposed to show this damn console. This is why I've got a whole. I know, and we'll be getting into that. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah, just overall, just disappointed with it, man. The tone of it. I mean, graphically, it doesn't look that good. I don't think. I think for a game that's been in development for 5 years, you could do a little better. Clearly, it is obviously hardware restricted back to the old Xbox. There's only so far they can push that, and if they're changing their engine up to go more open world and whatnot, obviously
they custom built an engine for this. This is brand new. Yeah.
But it's obviously got to be able to stretch across generations now.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is, I think, this is showing you how much of an issue it is. But it's also showing Xbox aren't really doing that anyway, because all the games they showed later aren't coming out on the original Xbox. They're only coming out on the Series X.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, overall, I think it was just a very disappointing showing. They could have showed it off much better. Yeah, way better. Especially for your main thing, man. This is
this is when they were talking about this is what people wanted. This is what people requested. But this is so we brought it in for you.
Yeah,
and it was just kind of okay. It's cool.
This is what sells your game. This is what sells your Game Pass, though. Yeah. This is what sells your Xbox. This is the one moment, and this is the thing that Microsoft as a whole continue to fuck up with their presentations.
Yeah.
They just cannot nail that epic moment. And you've got Halo, one of the world's biggest IPs that's had 5 years of development. That's when your time to shine is. That one moment where you've got everyone watching, all the gamers in the world are watching. And yeah, for me, they blew it with Halo. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. And they didn't even show the multiplayer. How do you not show Halo's multiplayer?
That's coming soon. They did say they were showing the multiplayer, but the most requested thing was seeing campaign. That's why they put what they put there.
So you're telling me?
I reckon
you're telling me that they could sneak in an episode that you could not sneak in a quick multiplayer match in that?
No way. I mean, they should have, but they didn't. I have a feeling we'll see a multiplayer demo and then maybe a beta. So hey, jump in, try out the beta because they've done that before.
I think your Halo's going to get delayed.
You're going to get delayed?
I think it's 6 months away. You won't see it till next year. I reckon they are going to delay it because there's no way in hell that they will ship Halo without multiplayer, and I don't think their multiplayer is ready. I think they're really struggling. Yeah, 5 years, man. If that thing's been cooking for 5 years, and that's the way it is, and they gave no release date, like none.
I have a feeling that the no release date is tied because it's supposed to be tied to the console, and they're not releasing the console date yet.
That is true.
Like we saw that with a lot of games for the showcase where there wasn't actually a release date for a lot of them. Which is it launch titles? Or is it coming soon after? You know.
That's because those release dates for those games aren't till 2023.
Oh, some of them, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No, there was an interview that came out with, I think it's Aaron Greenberg, or one of the Xbox guys. Halo now is going to a Destiny plan. So there's no more Halos after this one. This is the last Halo.
Yeah, they're dropping the numbers and just kind of
dropping the numbers and just updating the world. So I don't know.
To see how it goes. Like it's a risk. It's a big risk because like you said, they're departing from Bungie. Like they're moving. I mean, Bungie's Halo anyway. So they're departing from that structured story, and they're doing their own thing, right? So it's a big risk, especially with such a long running franchise that's loved by thousands,
millions
even.
Tens of millions.
There's dozens of us. Dozens, I swear. So what they're doing is risky. So it'll be interesting to see if they can back that up. I really hope they can, because seeing Halo go in a new direction would be hella cool.
Same. I'm all for that. I think they should have done that the second they got that IP in their hands. They should have said, see you later, Bungie, where that's your old Halo. You've got that. We're taking this in our direction that we want to go, and start then, and then build their own franchise with the Halo name.
Yeah.
They've struggled, and it's obvious that they've struggled. The game has struggled over the years because they've tried to shoehorn into what another developer is. Bungie is exceptionally good at it. It makes it difficult. But yes, I'm keen to see more. I'm keen to understand their 10-year plan or their master plan with this on how that is going to work. Does that mean it is? I suppose they could cut the old system off at some point. I don't know. Then it's
I think. They have the
Master
Chief Collection, and that's all the old games. Mm-hmm. So I think what they'll do is they'll separate it. They'll have the Master Chief Collection because they're still updating that. They're still looking out for that. They've just added Reach and 3 onto PC.
Yep.
Not long ago. So I think they'll get that up to date. They'll get that running, and they'll keep that going. I think they'll just get a small team on it, keep it going, just like skeleton crew to keep it live, and then they'll push everyone else onto making content for Infinite.
Yeah, I'm more worried about if they want to keep that Halo Infinite on the Xbox One as it stands now, then they're going to have to do they keep that for the entire generation of the Series X, or do they do what Bungie did and at some point cut the old hardware off, chop the old hardware off, say go away, so we can really, really focus on this game and give it the attention that it deserves with all that power, not tied back to an old system.
Yeah, I think they might.
Or do they not? And do they stick with it? Because
they'll push xCloud. And I think I was talking about this last night.
True.
Where I think they'll just go, all right, we're not selling it for that system anymore, but you can play it via xCloud on your older Xbox.
It's good.
I think that'll be the way they do it. Because, I mean, they're pushing to the point where they're going to have people play this on their phones and tablets and stuff. So why not push it to an Xbox, push it to a Switch, It it is streaming the game. It might run at a slightly lower quality, slightly longer load times, maybe, but I think that's the way they'll do it. They'll go, all right, cool. We have xCloud now, because that's coming out. That's opening up in September. I mean, not for everywhere. I doubt we'll be getting it this year in Australia, but you won't be getting it till like 2045 at your rate. But yeah, I think that's the way they'll do it. They'll push that so they're utilizing xCloud to stream it to older systems. That way they're kind of keeping Game Pass in the family of consoles. Sure, they'll probably start making the older consoles, but they'll want to keep that option there for people that haven't upgraded. I think that's the way they'll go. Yeah.
It's a very solid formula if that's what they're going to go and do, which they definitely should. Rightio, moving on from Halo. What do we got to? We got the next world premiere. God, I hated that.
Every time,
man. Every time. So the next premiere showed a character sharpening a stick around a campfire before screaming at a nearby animal. Armed with a crossbow and a pack, she set off into the snowy forest following a trail of blood. It was a cinematic reveal for State of Decay 3, the next major project from Undead Labs. Phil Spencer then said 9 of Xbox's 15 first-party studios would be showcasing projects during this showcase, and as reiterated before, every game would be available through Xbox Game Pass day one. State of Decay looked cool.
It's a CGI trailer. It's kind of hard to gauge. I really hope that... I mean, I hated State of Decay 2. Like, I played it. I hated it. It was just buggy and shit. And so I would like to see State of Decay 3. Like, my wife played a heap of 2. I'd like to see 3 at that kind of graphic fidelity, like throughout the thing. I don't think we will, but that's what I'd like to see. I think the animal zombie thing is an interesting take on stuff, because it's always been kind of humanoid versions of zombies. So getting into animals, which might bring in some different ways to fight things and stuff, which would be cool. But at the end of it, it's like a management kind of game, like a sim management kind of thing where you're managing camps and stuff. So that'll be the core gameplay as opposed to like the shooting. But I'd really like to see some big improvements there if I'm gonna even look at this, I think.
Yeah, and it's a long way away. Don't expect this game for
this is a couple of years out. 2022.
Yeah, this is, I think no longer than that. They said they're just going into pre-production.
Was that this one? There's a few of them that were, but yeah.
There's a few of them that were in pre-production. 2022 in 2 years. I don't think we'll see that. We will find out though. Next up was a short trailer for the new Forza Motorsports and Rare's Everwild. Everwild especially has an incredible comic book style that's probably best described as the next generation of cell shading. Forza looked
shiny.
Really like Vaseline rubbed over everything. It's like, wow, okay.
They pulled that fresh out of the water to show everyone.
They did, didn't they? They flicked it all off. That was it's a car racing one. It's always show it.
It's essentially a tech demo when they do that.
Yeah, they all do
all
that.
It is. It's like, check out how cool what we can do with ray tracing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Forza, there you go. We knew that was coming. Interesting, they dropped the number again. A bit of a theme.
I think it's going to be same as Halo, where they'll just, because I mean, Forza, you don't really need the number. Realistically, you could just update the game, drop some old stuff out, update maps. It wouldn't be too hard to do. It makes sense that they've done it, I think, and I think it'd be good.
Races, to me, they just seem like the most obvious to have a live service like that. Like, not a live service, but a game that's never. You don't need to go and buy the next sequel. You just keep updating it, and DLCs and stuff like that. That makes sense. Makes sense. Everwild. I liked the cell shading look. I think it was a good analogy of that.
Yeah.
It looks. I don't know. It's interesting.
Gorgeous.
I want to play it, but the issue is
I know what it is.
They don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Did you read the thing afterwards? They're like, oh, yeah, we're still working out the gameplay. It's like, oh.
Okay, so we're just getting what drawn out. I mean, there was a point there I was getting like Avatar vibes, like they were like bending, like animal bending, because it looked like she was controlling the animal through movement. So that could be cool. That could be an interesting. It looks like it's going to be a non-combat kind of game though, an exploration, save the animals kind of deal.
It looks interesting. So I'm
definitely.
Again, we won't be seeing that for a year or two at least, especially if they're still working gameplay out. I found that to be a bit odd when you still don't know the game's how it's going to run or play. Don't Nod's next game's up next, featuring the same blend of mystical and humanity from the Life is Strange games. It's called Tell Me Why, and the first chapter is out next month. We had a quick update on Ori and the Will of the Wisps that would be getting an Xbox Series patch later this year, and the developers revealed it's going to be hitting 120 frames, which is really, really good.
That's really good. I know why this was there, but it felt so out of place.
It was very forced. It's like Phil Spencer's like, we must have 120 frames something. But
on Ori, we have to flex. We have to flex. It's a 2D platform, we have to flex 120 frames.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's cool. I like that they're doing that. I mean, I got a little bit excited with Moon Studios. Oh, maybe they're like starting with something else.
I was hoping for a
DLC. Yeah.
When I saw that, it's like yes, and then 100. It's like, yeah, I've got that on the PC now, and it looks pretty, but
I mean, it is what it is. Though, like last generation, it struggled to go 60 frames. So,
even this one, even this one here on PC had terrible performance issues on occasion. So,
yeah.
And how many people have a fucking TV that's 120 frames?
Literally, fucking nobody.
Who has that big old 69, 70-inch LCD plasma, whatever, sitting on there near their couch?
144 hertz.
Yeah, 144 hertz. What that cost you? 50 grand? Like, there's no way anyone's getting a TV that big. Can you even get them?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Because there's no reason to get it.
This is obviously like for people that play on monitors. But I mean, people that are playing on monitors generally are having PCs anyway that can, for the most part, hit that. So, maybe? I don't know. It was a weird one, though. Like, very forced.
Very shoehorned in. Like, squeeze that in there somewhere. Cool. Next up, we had Obsidian. They would be releasing a DLC for the Outer Worlds, which is out on September 9th, called Peril on Gorgon. It's the first of 2 DLCs for the Fallout-esque RPG. This is co-developed. I think it's more developed by Private Division this time, with Obsidian overseeing the whole thing.
Yeah,
because obviously they're working on Everwind. How do you say that? Their game. What's Obsidian's new game?
Avowed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Finally, we got that out. Now I'm covered for later when that comes up. Peril on Gorgon looked awesome.
It looks like a lot of fun, man. It's on an asteroid. I really hope that DLC ends with that asteroid crashing into something.
And
then that sets up, because they said there's another DLC coming out after that. So there's this one and they're working on a second. So it'd be really cool to see those events kind of link up somehow.
I wonder, do you wonder if they're coming to, is it coming to PlayStation?
I don't know, maybe. I haven't seen anything.
I didn't either. I haven't seen anything from PlayStation saying that it would be.
And normally by now we've heard something from PlayStation going, hey, we're also doing this.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's interesting. It looks really cool. It looks like it looks like more The Outer Worlds, which is
fantastic.
Fucking good thing. That game is awesome. Yeah, definitely. Game Pass too. So Just
No, the
another
DLC
one.
isn't Game Pass. The base game is,
Isn't
but
it?
the DLC isn't. They made that very clear. It's one of the very few things that wasn't on Game Pass. It's like you can get the base game, but you'll have to pay for the DLC. But it was only like I think it was only like $30, which is fine, for a DLC. And
Fair
I
enough.
mean, if that's what helps support Obsidian and Private Division make more afterwards, I'm fucking totally down for that.
Definitely. Grounded also got a new trailer with the neat fake out to Cyberpunk 2077. That was a very that
That was so
odd.
cheeky. It was nearly on the nose. It was
It
funny,
was.
but yeah.
But it's even funnier that you would think they would have shouted out their own like Halo Infinite or something, as the biggest game coming out at the end of the year. And they're like,
Cyberpunk.
no one ain't fucking beating Cyberpunk, so we just might as well go with that.
Going with this, it's fine.
Here's the crown. Like, give it to you. We're done. So with Grounded, it's officially out today.
Tomorrow. I just tried to open it up to play it while I was waiting. It's not ready. So I think it's Steam. It's in it's about 6 hours. So,
So look for our impressions next week.
Next week, definitely. I'll be getting into.
I'll download it as well, and we'll get into it. So afterwards, however, Obsidian unveiled its new first-person RPG set in high fantasy. It's called Avowed. Thanks, puppies.
You're welcome.
And all that was featured was a brief shot of a knight casting some form of a spell in first person. Again.
This is I can't even remember the game. What is it? This is drawing from another game, from another universe.
Skyrim?
No, not Skyrim. It was Dungeon Crawl, I think. Why am I blanking on this?
Because we've seen, because they released some art assets, some artwork of this game a few months ago.
Pillars of Eternity.
Pillars of Eternity.
So it's set in that universe, so they're pulling from all that lore there.
Oh, is it actually set in? It's
set
tied
in the Pillars of Eternity universe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's cool as fuck. Sweet.
Yeah, man.
It's so keen.
Yeah.
2024 is going to be such a cracking year.
Fucking oath it
for
is.
games. All these cool games coming out.
We just need to survive through 2020 first.
Exactly. Again, no release date, no nothing. It's just Obsidian working on their next game, which makes more sense because Private Division obviously stepped in to help finish off the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
The next title was billed as an interactive drama with a strong graphic novel style, and it was called Dusk Falls. I pretty well tuned out for that one. It wasn't.
Yeah, like the art style was interesting. I liked it. It's not a game I play a lot. I have a feeling it's going to have very heavy, like Life is Strange kind of vibes and that kind of storytelling. Maybe a bit of Edith Finch as well, kind of that kind of angle with the storytelling.
That'd be cool if that's where they want to go with it.
Yeah,
go down that line. Yeah,
art style looks neat. I'm interested to see what it's like.
Well, I think we'll find out. I don't think, did they give us a release date? They didn't.
No, they did not.
Nothing there. All right. Well, Ninja Theory, we're up next with Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. A Ninja Theory developer revealed that the game would be set in Iceland, and the whole thing was being built in Unreal Engine 5, with more dev videos to be published throughout the official Ninja Theory channel. Pretty much how we predicted the other week that we would not be seeing anything on Hellblade. It's miles out.
I was still sad about it, though.
Yeah.
I just wanted more, man. I just need more Hellblade. I think it's going to be a while out, too. I don't think it'll be out till, like, mid next year. It won't be a launch title.
No, it's definitely not a launch title, man. Like, remember, like, when they showed it off at, like, Christmas time, they said it was early pre-production. So, yes, when it was revealed. Even Phil Spencer said it
goldfish memory today.
Early pre-production. So, I don't think this is 2 years away, I think, before we'll see this. And yeah, maybe. No, I'd say 2 years. 2 years.
2 years sounds reasonable. Yeah.
Go with that. Psychonauts 2 then followed, blending a gameplay scene with behind-the-scenes footage of Jack Black singing, which was awesome. There was also some more gameplay and some incredibly vibrant, almost neon levels with Rasputin's bag seemingly getting a badge after completing every successful level. This looks cool.
This game looks trippy as fuck, and I'm all about it.
It does look weird. Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be hard to play just because there's so much going on the screen. I think that's going to be a big issue.
Yeah, so make sure if you got sensitive eyes, probably not play it. Turn the colors down a little bit if you can. Now, this next part I think was probably one of the biggest moments of the game, of the whole showcase. It was announced that Destiny 2, including all expansions, would be available on Xbox Game Pass from September. It'll be playable through Project xCloud as well and optimized for the Series X when it launches. I thought this was their mic drop moment.
This was massive. Like,
huge, dude. Huge.
I mean, with Destiny talking crossplay as well, they haven't said anything yet, but I think they might push it closer if they can to go with this, because if they can get crossplay xCloud on Game Pass, they're going to get a massive influx of players, especially with I think it's Game Pass Ultimate gets you the DLC and xCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it's working. Like, the base game's on Game Pass, but if you pay for Ultimate, you get all the DLC and you get access to xCloud for usage on that. So you'll be able to play it on your phone, and that was confirmed by them that select countries will be able to play it on their phone at that launch.
That's insane that you'll be playing Destiny and its expansions on your fucking phone through xCloud.
We've been able to do it with Stadia, but no one uses Stadia, let's be honest.
Well, we can't do it with Stadia. It's not here. I thought this was it makes perfect sense when you think about it. It also makes sense that they're taking a free-to-play game and making you pay for it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's Bungie's free-to-play model isn't exactly free-to-play.
Well, it is. You just don't get that much with it. I suppose, no, you get a fair bit. You get heaps if you're just joining. Oh, maybe not, actually, because they're going to colour heap out, aren't they?
Yeah, they're changing the way they're doing the content, so a lot of it's sunset. They will be rotating it in and out. But yeah, Bungie are changing the way they're doing things. This is big and different, so I think it'll be a big change for Bungie and Destiny and the community there. And I dare say they'll see a decent influx of new users. I mean, I think it might just see a lot of people just move to
I think you'll see people
Xbox app on PC.
Yeah, and so do you know how it works on PC?
It'll be the same as the Xbox Game Pass app. You just have it downloaded through the Windows Store, and you play it.
And you just do the change your character. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Right.
So you just link up if your Xbox account's linked with your Bungie account, which would be linked with if you've got Steam and PlayStation as well. So all your accounts are linked. It's all the same three characters. Once you've chosen that, with their kind of cross save thing they have now, it's just started up on whatever system you want. So you can go with, if you've got it on Steam, you can do that. If you've got it on Xbox, you've got that. If you've got it on the Windows Store, you're good there. You just pick it up and play. And with Windows Store and Xbox, you get all your DLC if you've got Game Pass Ultimate. So
it's a devious one to have on Xbox on a subscription service. It doesn't even have to be Game Pass. It could be on any subscription service. Just because it's an older game. Like, it's been out. There's, but it's a live service game that is on a subscription service. So,
but see, the Game Pass is covering your subscription, as far as I can tell. So Game Pass Ultimate is getting you the DLCs, which would essentially be subscriptions. So you wouldn't be paying for extra content on Destiny.
Well, you would. Do you see what I'm saying here? You could probably buy this DLC outright for $30. Isn't it? $30, $40
this
when they
This
release?
is including future DLCs as well. That's how I
that's what I'm saying. But if you pay for what's Ultimate cost you for a year's worth of Ultimate?
Like
$300 or something?
Yeah. Not even that. I think might be $250 for a year or something.
So a game the size of Destiny, which is huge and has a big, you need to sink some time into it to get all of the stuff out of it, especially when it's a new expansion.
Yeah.
Can you see where I think? Like,
yeah, I can see where you're going with it. Yeah,
see where I'm going with this? Like, it's gonna like the moment you're not playing it, something else comes out on Game Pass or subscription service. Forget it's even just Game Pass because this works to anything from any company. You're still paying for it technically, but you're not using it. When you could have bought the DLC outright, used it as much as you want, and it still sits.
That's your point.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah, right,
you ultimately could. Yeah, it's an odd one, but I see where they're going. It's smart business wise because it keeps people hooked in. It keeps people invested in Game Pass in this case because your subscription runs out that month and you don't renew it or whatnot. It's like, oh, just log in and play Destiny, get some raids done with the boys, and
no raids for you. Free content, so you pay for it.
You're like, fuck, rightio, I need to go sub again. So it is. It's good for Microsoft in that regard.
Yeah,
should be interesting. I'm probably definitely going to swap over because I've got a Game Pass anyway. So
yeah, same. I'm always going to be running Game Pass for as long as it's decent value. So, and by then Destiny will probably run out of things to do. No doubt, maybe. Maybe.
maybe. All right, next up. This one I was very excited for. I called it too when I was watching it. It's like, this is the fucking Stalker. I thought it was the original. Actually, I thought it was a remake. So this, original, yeah. So the next reveal was for the first cinematic from Stalker 2. With no in-engine gameplay shown, it was followed next by the Warhammer game from Fat Shark, the developers of Warhammer Vermintide. The Stalker 2 was just a pure cinematic moment.
It was.
That's what it was. It's just
that opening scene with the Ferris wheel. I thought it was that level from Call of Duty. Is it 2?
Oh yeah. All
is it 2? No, not 2. Huh? 4.
2. All gillied up.
Yeah, all gillied up. Yeah, that's it. I thought it was that. I'm like, what? Why is this coming? Why? And then the Stalker popped up. I'm like, oh, this all makes sense now.
Yeah, no, I knew. I don't know. I just knew it straight. I love the Stalker one. It's it's where stuff like Escape from Tarkov has drawn inspiration from and whatnot. So yeah, it should be great to see this. Apparently, unfortunately, the developers have already said, well, one, that it's a while away, so don't expect anything soon. But it is the biggest map ever done.
Nice.
Come from my OCD. There was a part I thought it might be also a Metro game as well because it was like got the old Chernobyl thing going in the background. But yeah, super happy for that. It is coming to. Oh, we'll get to that anyway afterwards. Yeah, Warhammer was the next one. Also looked really cool. Have you ever played Vermintide?
No, I tried it. I couldn't get into it. I was running solo though, so.
Oh, it's hard solo.
Yeah. I found it a real pain in the ass to play.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looked really good. I mean, there's been a heap of Warhammer games the last couple of years, like heaps of them.
Well, they're doing really well. Like the Vermintide one, man. Fat Shark are just killing it. Yeah. Like they nailed that. That Vermintide reviewed really well. I think it sold really well. So yeah, this is just all good things. But again, it was another cinematic. There was no gameplay. There's no nothing. Nothing was shown. It's another fucking cinematic trailer that looked cool. But yeah, that's that. We've literally got nothing else to go on, and I wouldn't expect us to find anything out anytime soon.
Year or so.
Give it another year or so, yeah, and then we'll hear the rest. So a bit more on that. This was Warhammer 40,000's Dark Tide, and it showcased a squad of 4 players in suits, not Space Marine suits, however. It'll be out in 2021. There you go, so next year.
2021. That's all right, not bad.
What followed next was the music for Tetris Effect, but it was actually Tetris Effect Connected, an update on the original game with a multiplayer mode. Yay.
Cool.
Tetris.
Come on. Let's go.
Bring back Pong, damn it.
It wasn't even like the Tetris BR. Sad about
Which was cool. The Tetris BR actually was cool. This is, I don't know. It's
more
Tetris.
Effect.
More Tetris. All right. After that was the Gunk. The Gunk, a vibrant 3D game featuring a character wandering a strange alien planet. Not much concrete gameplay details were given, but there were some very strong sci-fi explorer vibes. Any thoughts on this one?
I really, really like the aesthetic on this game.
Yes, it does look cool.
It looks so fucking cool. I mean, the gameplay, it looks kind of Ratchet and Clank-ish.
Yeah, sort of.
A little bit.
Yeah. I like the name, the Gunk.
The Gunk. It had like the swamp, the thing kind of vibe to the title screen as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it looked cool. I mean, we saw like minuscule bits of gameplay in amongst the trailer. Like, there's a few flashes of it where you had a gun you had to use it to clear. So I dare say it'll kind of go down that 2D explorer platform kind of style. But I like that there's been lots of interesting styled games coming up. They're not all like super realistic and super high def. There's like some really fun cartoony ones, or things like Everwild, which are done really interestingly.
Halo.
It's good to see Halo. It's super cartoony. Love it.
I couldn't resist. It was just
I saw the look in your
it on a
eyes.
platter. Like, here you go. Take it. Nibble from this. Next one was actually the next game showed off was what is described as dual reality gameplay, or two worlds rendered simultaneously. The game featured two female characters walking through a physically similar but very different worlds. Think hell overlaid on the real world. It was the new trailer for the Medium, and certainly it was the most interesting. I found this
is cool. Like, I was like on the first trailer for the Medium, and then they showed. I watched this one. Like, this is fucking cool. I'm in on this. You know. I mean, the dual rendering of the dual rendering of both worlds was kind of a weird flex. I found. I'm like, okay, why does that make that so impressive? I mean, we've played games before where we've switched between realities. There's Titanfall 2 did it. There was one in...
Maybe not to the graphical finesse that this one is going to show off the details.
Yeah, so I have a feeling that with this one, the worlds will be living like, my theory is they'll be living like parallel to each other. So if you dip from one, things are still happening in that other world. And then you dip back and they've like, so say you're behind someone and you dip into the other world to get around them, and you come back and they've moved to a completely different location.
That would be cool.
So they're still like, so they see you flash in, they go looking for you, and you flash back in. They're still kind of looking for you, thinking you've gone a certain place or something. So it'll be, yeah, I want to see this one in practice. I want to see how this works gameplay wise.
It definitely had some.
But the premise is very cool.
Yeah, it's got some spooky overtones there, especially with it definitely looks like a hellscape wherever you are transitioning back to and from. Yeah, I'm very interested in this game. I reckon it looks really cool. I like the concept of it. It's something, pretty cool. It's something we don't have much of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Medium. Next up was a trailer for New Genesis, a Phantasy Star Online 2, which will be due out in 2021. There was then some footage from the campaign mode of Crossfire X, which has exceedingly strong Modern Warfare vibes. A small footnote was added that the Crossfire single-player campaign won't be included in Xbox Game Pass. The multiplayer remains free-to-play. Crossfire is due out in 2020, and Remedy Entertainment are assisting on the campaign. Need to reiterate that because so many people have been like, yes, Remedy's new game. It's like, it's not their new game. They're helping out with the campaign. Yeah, the fact that they're involved with it is really cool. I like it.
Definitely. It means the story, because I think the story, again, separate DLC kind of thing. I think it's about $30. The story's decent. That's gonna be hella worth it. I mean, I know they were adding this is a free to play game. It's not technically Game Pass. It's just a free to play game on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it'll just be there on the store. But Remedy helping with the campaign. I think that'll be really cool.
I think it's needed because have you seen the multiplayer component of this?
No, I haven't.
Super average.
Super average. Ooh.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched maybe a 10-15 minute match, and it was like, I can't even jive with this at all. It just does not look nice. It just didn't run very well, and it just seemed really weird. But in saying that, the single player thing looked cool. Like that actually looked wicked. And I don't know, is it maybe Remedy helping them is doing that, or if they've just put a lot more time and effort into the single player campaign, and the multiplayer is just like, born from that during development. It's like, oh, we can
make a story out of this.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, definitely interested in the story side. I'm not interested in the PvP side. Does not look good. The final game, left the best to last. The final game before the showcase ended featured a small fairy flying through a magical forest with a narrator talking about living in perfect harmony. And it was a reboot of the classic Fable series with no gameplay or release date. Pure cinematic again, but it does sound like they're keeping that humorous tone of the first one.
Yeah, it was it does. It's got that original tone. I think that's good. They haven't gone because the graphics looked like a lot more like realistic than previous titles, where it kind of had that cartoony vibe to it. So for a second there you think, oh shit, is this going to be a little more of a serious Fable? But then you get the voiceover and the frog and the fairy. So yeah, this is fine. We're good. We're in.
We're good. Fable done. Sign me up. Yeah, I thought that was a
This will be cool, man.
It is going to be an awesome game. Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully, the dev team have never done one before, but sounds like they've got their head on it right. Like they're taking what was the best of the older games and redoing it all again with new modern shit and quality ways of life. It just sucked us that it was they finished the same way they started. No cinematic, no gameplay.
No gameplay.
It's just that was the theme of the entire showcase.
To be fair though, how much gameplay did we see with the PlayStation conference? I can't remember.
Oh, I'm not too sure.
I don't think there was any at all.
There was cinematic. No, there's definitely more gameplay in that. Even the Demon Souls one was all in game.
Yeah, right. All right. So you're talking about you're talking about in game versus gameplay, which are very different.
I wanted gameplay. Like if they could do everything like Halo, great. But you can't give every game you're going to announce. You can't give everyone a full 5-minute demo, of a vertical slice. Like it's not feasible. It's not feasible. It just doesn't work in the, you want to keep things moving. Plus you've got too much shit. So I understand. But when you're going to pump out cinematic trailer after cinematic trailer that does not represent the game at all, your game will not look like that. It won't play like that. It's just wanked up. And that pisses me off. It's the same ones where they used to send websites and magazines bullshots. Bullshots were in-game screenshots retouched up in Photoshop to look really, really pretty. But that's not what the game looked like. That was the thing. That was a huge thing back in the day. Now this is what happens, is you get these fucking cinematic, man. It's like, it's fine because it's awesome because we're getting these cool games. Which is great. 100% for it. But we're not getting them for so long. Like, it's just like, it's the only industry, it's the only fucking industry that teases something so far out in advance. You don't see movies doing it.
That has to do with the consumer base too. That has to do with us as consumers, because if you think about it, people are always like, it's such a, we're so hungry for information all the time. So when's this coming? And when's the next one? So you're halfway through number 2 and you're like, where the fuck's number 3? Why don't I have a trailer yet? It's very intense.
So
it's become expected, and they have to give into that to make the sales.
I would totally disagree with you. I think these publishers have moved away from it. They started to. Obviously, a few of them haven't got the message and they're coming back. It was only a few years ago, Fallout 4 was announced. Fallout 4 was announced and released 6 months later.
Yeah.
One of the biggest IPs on the planet, sold a fucking buttload, wasn't as good as 3. Damn sucks, but it is what it is. That's how you do it. Like, that is how it is done. Not tease something that is not even a close reflection of what your product is.
Or even if you know what that product is, looking at you rare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just, that's my whole issue with this entire showcase, was that why even have the showcase?
If we don't know when these are coming out.
Why even show it? Why not just go, fuck it, like, set the expectations for people. Go, we're going to have a half an hour, 45-minute, whatever, on Halo. You're getting Halo, you're getting campaign, you're getting developer talk, you're getting all the cool shit like that. There's your thing that builds up your hype for your Xbox, all the rest of it. And you don't need to fill people up with this shit that's coming out in years, all to sell Game Pass.
Yeah, see, this is the Game Pass thing is interesting, right? Because I mean, that's what this was. There was barely any mention of the new console. It was kind of on the splash screen corner, Xbox Series X enhanced, whatever. But the console itself was never mentioned. What was most interesting was after the fact. In interviews, I think it was one with Aaron Greenberg and Alana Pierce. She asked him, okay, so we've seen all this cool shit for Game Pass, and we're sold on that. Tell us what the biggest features of this new console are. Why should we be buying this? And he totally dodged the question and went back to Game Pass.
That's because
Microsoft do not give a shit about this console. Like, they're putting it out, sure, and they're going to put it out and they'll sell it, but I don't think they give a shit how it goes, because they want to push Game Pass. They've got Project X Cloud coming out, and that's where they're going. They want to move away from solely producing a box. They want to sell you a service. They can make more money that way.
This is a 100%. If the writing is not on the wall after that showcase and their whole marketing strategy at the moment, this is the last Xbox you'll be able to buy.
Yes.
You will not get another one next year.
I reckon they might keep a Lounge Room 1 going, but it won't be like, they won't be pushing it. It'd be like, okay, it might be a longer kind of cycle on the development. They'll just kind of update it or do a new version. But I don't think they'll be focusing on it at all. I think we'll see consoles for another 3-4 years, maybe. We might get one more from Microsoft, I think. But it won't be like a big new powerful console. It'll just be, here's a new console if you need it, because they're branching out into that ecosystem as opposed to
and
more and more consoles.
It makes sense. They can't. They struggle to compete against Nintendo and PlayStation, who have just been in it longer. They've got a bigger fan base. It's just they don't seem to get a crack at it. But what they do get a crack in is Game Pass, is this service that they offer, which I think is it is smart for them to get into it now, because if Sony and Nintendo turn around and decide to do it with their IP, it'll sink Game Pass.
That's the thing, though. Xbox right now has the tech, and we know, because we've talked about this before, that PlayStation they made a deal with Xbox to use some of that tech because they're so far behind on it. So at the moment, Xbox has the gates to that controlled, unless Sony makes massive investments into infrastructure, which would take years for them to get sorted.
They're definitely not going to, but I think that I understand that. I think the whole reason they're not they're going down the Game Pass thing is because I don't think it financially suits them. I don't think it makes Xbox enough money.
They're definitely taking a hit on it. They said long term it works out better for them. The short term they take a fair bit of a hit financially, but long term it does work out better for Xbox and the consumer. They're trying to build brand loyalty. Is the
long term? It only works if it's a success, man. If it doesn't, if it's not, that's why it's getting pushed so hardcore, because it needs to succeed.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
To be viable for them, otherwise, it's not going to work. And they're doubling down on it now, which makes sense. Get in now before anyone else has. They've got the infrastructure there. unfortunately, they're lacking the games, the IP, to really, really pull people in. They don't have a fucking Mario. Their best they got is Halo, and it was not looking good. That showing of it was not.
It wasn't the best showing, no.
No, it's definitely not the best showing. I mean, regardless of what the graphics could be, for your next gen flagship title, they just had to show it differently, market it a little differently, show it off a tiny bit better in a different light, and it drastically changes the opinion of everyone. Because from everything that I've seen, only the heart of hardcore, man, we're impressed with it, and the other people that we're impressed with, just like, positive for the sake of being positive. It's another Halo, which is great. It's the reason I'll be playing it. The rest were not impressed, which sucks. Because fucking Halo, and Halo's awesome.
It is. Hopefully it's one of those situations where we're let down now, but when we actually get the game, it's really good. Hopefully, fingers fucking crossed. Because I'd prefer that to getting fucking hyped about something now and then turning around and it's a pile of fucking dog shit.
That is very true. That's always better. But now, could you imagine after the reception that they just got, how much pressure 343 is under to get this?
Oh yeah,
a shining bright beacon for them. It's going to be really.
They're going to push hard. They're going to have to.
And they've all got to work from home, so it's even going to be really.
See, that's another thing too with the showcase. The working from home thing could have possibly been another reason we got mostly trailers. Maybe.
I would hear you then if it was in-game trailers. Like, regardless of it's not one-to-one gameplay of someone sitting there with a controller and moving the character around or whatever it is. Even if it's just, an in-game trailer, like it's rendered from, it's a cutscene taken from the game, like The Last of Us 2. Take a cutscene out of that, and that's what you show people, to not give everything away. That's fine. No worries. Then you've got a rough idea, a gauge that where they're at on a development level.
Yeah.
Where the game's tracking, what it's kind of looking like, and, their art style and direction that they want to go with the game. Not what they just gave us. Like, they're all cool. Stalker is fucking awesome. Stalker 2 is going to be great. I can't wait for it. Fable is... Fuck, I love Fable.
Fable is fucking great.
Warhammer 1 looks insane. State of Decay 3 looks awesome, but we all know that's not what the game's going to look like.
I want it to, but goddamn, it won't.
See, and that's the issue I have with it. That,
and that's
none of that makes any sense. I don't understand why show it. Now, the question I have, the follow up to that, is this time next year when E3 is potentially back on, or they've got their next showcase. What are they showing?
I don't know, because apparently they're doing another showcase that'll be focused on hardware that's before launch, and they have more games to show us before launch.
I don't have the in front of me. There's only 2 or 3 development studios, like the Initiative, who haven't shown anything. And the other one is the In Exiles team, but they've only literally just started. So you would highly doubt they've got anything. Man, they're running out of studios to show shit off.
I mean, maybe they've got more. They've shown a lot, and I think they.
I don't know
what's going to happen next year. Are they going to have anything, or is it just going to be focused on DLCs and improvements, or focusing again more on Game Pass and xCloud?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe they'll get a VR kit going. I mean, they've done deals with Facebook now regarding Mixer. Maybe they're going to borrow some of that sweet Oculus tech.
Have our bloody cranky Mixer partners.
Yeah, how about a half broken down service? Now give us some Oculus Rifts, mate.
Fucking solid tech, deal. Mate. He's tech. It just puts them in a very I don't know. From the outside looking in, obviously from what they see is very different to what they let in public knowledge. But from the outside looking in, it just a lot of their studios have shown their hand. And they've shown their hand very early, so we know what they're working on. I mean, every time Bethesda has had anything, Pete Hines was on the Kind of Funny podcast like ages ago now.
Yeah.
The Starfield thing, it's just pissed everyone off because that's all he gets asked about. And no one pays attention. No one pays attention to anything else. It's like announced way too early. The same thing could happen here. Like everyone is just going to be asked, what's this game do? When is it coming out? Like, what have you got next? And it's like, what do you mean? What have we got next? We've only just started working on this. Puts them in a chunky position, but
it does
overall for the show.
There's still more than 2 studios. There's another 6.
6 studios, is there?
So we saw 9 of 15.
Right.
So there's still a decent chunk to go. I don't think we'll see them all this year.
Good. I would be disappointed if you see any of them.
Yeah, I mean, again, save them for next year. Work on the release ones, get them out.
Yes, you're gonna have to. 100%.
Yeah, I think the initiative will be the big one we'll see next year. Their game.
If they're not doing that, what's the reboot? Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark. Maybe they'll be doing that and another game. It seems to be the way with the Microsoft Studios, where they'll work on one smaller game or a reboot, and then they'll do something larger. It's like their own thing.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
One for Game Pass, one for them. It seems to be how it works.
Yeah. Also, at the bottom of that, I missed. Do you think it was weird we didn't see any Microsoft Flight Simulator? I mean, that's got to be why. It's got to be like the prettiest game ever created.
We also didn't see any Age of Empires 4.
It's another one.
It's
weird. Maybe because they're PC focused.
Maybe I think that. I mean, everything here was Game Pass. Everything here was Xbox.
First party.
I mean, Age of Empires isn't the first party. Flight Simulator is though. So I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a good game to show, but they have Forza for that too. Like, they can show the prettiness of that. Do you really want? I mean, you kind of do want 2 super pretty games in there, but maybe they're saving. Maybe they're saving Flight Sim for a tech demo with the hardware, because that's what they're focusing on next is hardware. So they say obviously prices, but maybe they'll like use that to flex some of the other systems they have going on in the background. I don't know.
Whatever it is they choose to do, I want to see some flexing.
Yes, we need some flexing, Microsoft.
They need to flex. What is your we'll wrap this up. What's your final score of what's your overall take?
I'm sitting on this where I am with the PlayStation 1. Like, I'm at this point now where I'm not like super excited or blown away by any of this. It's years and years of fucking seeing it, but there's some cool shit there. You know, we've got Fable coming. Halo looks cool. Again, it wasn't like massively impressive, but it was still okay. Like, I understand what you're talking about with like it just being kind of a lot of rendered trailers, but the games I saw there looked cool. I'm excited for them. Sure, bit of a letdown from what I was expecting, but I'm okay with it.
Out of 10, what you give PlayStation? 7?
Yeah, so about a 6.5, 7. You know, around that mark.
Yeah, a solid 4 out of 10 for me.
Solid 4, yeah. You were. I know. You've been upset.
Solid 4. Too much cinematic trailers, not enough bloody in-game goodness.
I mean, at least there was no GTA 5. You got to give it that.
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I'll dock a point of PlayStation for. I already did dock a point of PlayStation.
You did dock a point for PlayStation for GTA. So did I.
Stupid fucking thing in there. Pretty much what I've just gone through. Too many cinematics. Not enough gameplay. Not enough. Yeah,
it was all shine, no substance.
That's exactly it. It was all glossy on the top, but you swipe that away and there's nothing underneath to get into, which is unfortunate because at a showcase event for Xbox, I expected games to play, to be able to see how they played, not watch. It just felt like watching movie trailers. That was it. Yeah. Showcase of movie trailers that aren't coming out for 2 to 4 years.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see when. I want release dates, or for some of them at least, because it was like, yeah, no release dates. I mean, sure, it might be because they're tied to the console for some of them, like Halo. I don't think we'll see Forza at launch. I think that'll be next year. But I need Xbox or somebody to get a fucking release date out of the console so we can start getting ballparks on when these fucking games are coming out, because that's what's holding it back, and that's why they're not saying anything. They're either late in development, or early in development rather, or they're tied to the console launch and they don't want to talk about that yet, because that's not what they're focusing on. So hopefully they're leaving this release date and price thing super fucking late.
I can understand the release by now. Well, normally we have that price, but we might be a bit iffy on the release date. I'm fine with, because we know it's going to be
holiday.
Generally, it's November. Yeah, it's going to be November. They want it out a month before Christmas, so sometime in November. We know that. It's the price that's fucking getting everyone. These guys are just playing so cat and mouse about it with each other. Someone just needs to flop it out on the table. Just show it.
I still think it'll be Microsoft first. I think PlayStation will hold. I mean, shit, I reckon PlayStation would hold till the week before if they had to.
Well, you got to open up the pre-orders. You got to give everyone a month or two at least to get some pre-orders in.
You don't need that. I mean, look at half the games pre-order ship before there's even a release date. So
yeah, but a game is a bit different to a potential console that could cost you a shitload more money. You could be getting many less presents for Christmas if this is an inexpensive console.
Good point. Still,
where there's a game, you could be like, oh well, I know it's going to be $100.
The gaming industry, I just wouldn't be surprised at this point. Hey.
Yeah, fair call. Fair call. Event-wise, I think we are. It's wrapped up, hasn't it? I think we're done.
Mostly
Sony. There's rumored there's Sony and another Xbox One coming
soon. Another Xbox. I think hopefully that's when we're seeing prices. It has to be.
And we know we've got another Ubi Forward.
Yes.
Coming as well.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this spanned out over a month thing, man. It's kind of nice, not spanned out over 3 days.
Nothing gets lost, and
you can. It's so nice to be like, this is what we've got, and you can go through it and you can process it, and then talk about it. Not, bam, there's all your shit. Figure it out.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And
it gives a.
It's good.
Yeah. Our poor run sheet doesn't get absolutely blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
It also gives other games, some time to shine.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the smaller ones. They don't get lost in the muck of all the AAA shit coming out.
Yeah, which I think is the most important thing. I think it's just another reason why E3 is.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see E3.
That's been taken out back and shot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's done. All right. Well, speaking of done. We are done for the evening. We're going to wrap it up. Where can people find you over the internet?
Find me, Twitter, Twitch, at deft_puppies with the Z. Gray, where you at?
I'm on YouTube and Twitter occasionally. Gray as a gamer. Both of those. If you want to get in touch with the podcast, you can find us on Twitter as well at left_pod. And also our YouTube, where you can catch the replay of the live show if you've missed it. Just search for Two Left Thumbs Podcast. You can also find us 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night on our YouTube channel. Well, that's it.
Thanks for listening.
We're done and dusted.
See you next week.
There you will. Thank you very much. You guys all enjoy.